We be live. Hi everyone. Make sure you have liked the stream so that we could get started. Please let me know how my audio is. Actually, I could check on my phone right away. We're going to be reviewing these fools over here today. We have all of them in a row, so we're going to be covering a lot of Muslims at the same time. I know a lot of these are famous. You guys know some of these guys at least. Hold on, let me actually check. Why can I? Am I live? Let me actually check on my phone. Guys, how's my audio? How's my audio? Do you have everything? Let me, and also please confirm in the live chat that you have liked the stream. It takes a while for the stream to show up on my phone. I don't know why there's always a little bit of a delay. There we go. Now it's working. There we go. Fantastic. Okay, guys. Have you liked the stream? Can you please let me know so that we can get started? Yes, Dolly saying we'll be live. Yes, we'll be live. D is here. Amika is here. Atheist Damien is here. Ezra is here. Ahmed is here saying like and share. Yes, fantastic. I like how the people in the live chat are just advertising to other people to like and share the stream. Thank you so much for doing that. This shows like we are. Yeah, this is fantastic. I love our live chat. They don't understand anything, and they also look like dorks. Hi, everybody. Well, we'll see. Okay, so guys, we have a lot of famous Muslims in a row. Look at that. Like we know at least 3 of these people are regulars in this channel. You could see Smile to Jannah, Sneako, the most famous of them all, and Ali Dava. You guys know that. So they have this video talking about free speech. And I thought this is fantastic. We have these British Muslims, this American Muslim, and they are basically, this is something that they have, I suspected that they have no clue what they're talking about. And then when I watched the video, I was like, yes, I was correct. They have no clue what they're talking about. So this is a good opportunity for us to basically, make fun of Islam and also get educated about free speech at the same time, for us to know what we mean. But by making fun of these idiots, we get to also have a better understanding of what we mean when we are defending free speech. So this is great. We get entertained and educated at the same time. And by educated, I don't mean just my opinions, but also your opinions in the live chat as well. Alfred, are you here? Alfred is here, highlighting people's comments. Alfred, yes, Alfred is here. Guys, again, Dolly is also in the live chat. I just want to make sure that we appreciate Dolly preparing these streams. She's the one who cuts the videos, does the research, does the title and description, does the cover. So I just want to always appreciate Dolly for doing everything. So thank you, Dolly. Thank you. And Alfred for highlighting people's comments. Alfred here is checking your comments and highlighting them, so your opinion gets to be part of the show as well. Anyways, let's just get started. Let's see what these fools have to say. All right, let's start.
Fogg actually came and said if he goes on stage, he's not coming back down.
Anytime mockery is done of Jesus, peace be upon him, the Christians immediately use the example of the Muslims.
We as Muslims do not believe in absolute freedom of speech, and we live by it. You believe in absolute freedom of speech, and you don't live by it.
Let's collectively agree these are the values we want to achieve, and we all agree we want to live in a...
Okay, that's not true. Like, who believes in absolute freedom of speech? I don't know. This is just a teaser at the beginning, but it's already starting with a straw man, right? Do we believe, like, who are you talking about? This is what they try to do. They say they act like the other side believes in absolute freedom of speech, and every time they find examples where they violate an absolute freedom of speech standard, they're like, got you. Well, we don't believe in absolute freedom of speech. We believe in a maximum freedom of speech. We're not freedom of speech absolutists. We're freedom of speech maximalists, right? And also, every time they find an example of us violating the principles of freedom of speech, it's not an actual example of violating freedom of speech. And the specific ones, maybe sometimes they do find an example where it's true. And those ones, yes, we are against it. As liberals, we're against those examples that you could find. So these people try to go find Western examples of limitations of freedom of speech to show that we are hypocrites, that we don't actually believe in freedom of speech, or we are biased when it comes to where we apply the freedom of speech. And there are 3 categories. So sometimes they give us examples of in situations where their speech should be limited because we're not freedom of speech absolutists, some rare cases where it's true that should be limited. For example, direct threat of harm. A second example is places where someone's expression is being limited, but that's not a violation of free speech. For example, it's a private entity, right? And then the third example of freedom of speech actually being violated, and we disagree with that. So those are the three categories that you have to keep in mind when we go through this video. Okay, so keep those three categories in mind, because I'm going to come back to that.
Harmonious society, so let's at least be consistent when it comes to freedom of speech.
The UK conquered India before, and it seems like he did it again. You know, all it took was one angry British guy.
In a couple of weeks.
I think the only group that cannot be criticized in this world is the Zionists.
Assalamu alaikum, guys, and welcome to another episode of...
The only group, you mean Jews? The Jews. Like, this is what they're trying to say. They're saying that the Jews are controlling the world, and that's why you can tell that because Judaism cannot be criticized, that shows that they are ruling the world. That's what they're saying. This is an anti-Semitic claim that he's trying to make, but he knows because he's on social media, he cannot make it. And that's why they use the word Zionist instead of Jews. That's what they often do. By the way, that is not true. This channel, Atheist Republic, has been criticizing Judaism as a religion for the past 15 years. And every time we got in trouble, it was not because of criticizing Judaism. Every time we got in trouble, it was because we were criticizing Islam. Yeah. So are Muslims ruling over the world? If it's like, is that the conspiracy theory that we have to believe in? Are the Muslims ruling? Is the Illuminati Muslim? I don't know.
Mile to Jannah, the far right were right, and most of us have left our countries and we've moved temporarily to Bosnia. We haven't strategized as to where we're actually going to...
They're in Bosnia for some reason. Okay, I saw Muhammad Hijab was also in Bosnia. I don't know, guys, can you tell me why all these famous Muslims are going to Bosnia for some reason? What are they doing there?
However, we have been monitoring what's been going on in terms of freedom of speech. One such case is that of Facebook posts. People have posted things and they have had police knocking on their door. What happened to freedom of speech?
That's a very good question. That is a very good question. Okay, so yes, this is again one of those examples where you are correct. This is a violation of freedom of speech. However, where were you guys where police was knocking on people's door for Facebook posts against Islam? Like, what? You only start crying about this when the police is knocking at people's doors for supporting Hamas. But you were celebrating this. You guys were supporting this and endorsing this when police was knocking in the UK, was knocking at people's doors for Islamophobic posts. It seems that you are the hypocrites. You are the ones with the double standard, because you act like we liberals have a double standard, that we only defend free speech when we want to criticize Islam. But we have always been against this. Liberals have been criticizing UK police for a long time for violations of freedom of speech, including speech that we hate. For example, on this channel, guys, I know that some of you in the chat were angry with me. There was this guy who was a Hamas sympathizer, right? And he was arrested in the airport in the UK. And I was not okay with that. I was like, yeah, I'm against his views, but my argument was like, he shouldn't be arrested for expressing support for Hamas. You know, we should let them say these things so we could see the problem. I mean, I have a lot of arguments, right? But we liberals are not hypocrites. We have been calling this out. You are the hypocrites. You are the ones who only cry when they come for you. We were consistent with calling out police when we're showing up to people's houses for their speech. We have been consistently against this. So I don't know what you're complaining about. Like, oh, you guys don't believe in freedom of speech. You guys are hypocrites. You're only believing in freedom of speech when they come after Islam. No. And now this is not a got you moment for you. This is a got you moment for me. Anyways, let's continue.
Take Basim Yusuf as an example. He deactivated his Twitter account because he was worried about the safety of his family.
He deactivated his account and was trying to pretend that Twitter removed his account. We covered this, we did a stream on this, and then eventually when people found out that Twitter didn't remove his account, he came up with that excuse. I don't know, maybe his excuse is correct, maybe it's not, but it's funny how you guys were before Smile to Jannah, who's speaking himself, was saying that the Jews removed his account. Hey, Smile to Jannah, why are you not why is that video still up? You have a video acting like the Jews pressured Twitter or X to remove his account. Now that the narrative is changing, that video of yours is still up. It's still up. Huh? What happened? Basim was also acting like he's the victim here, and then people figured out that his account was not removed by Twitter or X or whatever. And then you go like, okay, well, my family is being threatened. That's why I removed it myself. I mean, if your family is being threatened, why are you still active on Instagram? Why are you still active on your other social media accounts? Like you're selectively removing your Twitter. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. Maybe you're right. And if you're right, then yeah, that should be called out. That's messed up. If your family is being threatened because of your views, but is your family not being threatened if you are still consistently active on Instagram and the threats are just stopping because you're not active on the threats are stopping just because you stopped your activity on Twitter? I mean, I don't know how that makes any sense, but okay, sure, whatever.
That we're seeing about freedom of speech from countries that lecture the rest of the world about freedom of speech.
Okay, look at what he's doing. United States has every right to lecture the whole world about freedom. Like he's putting Biden and then Macron. If you want to call out Macron for selective application of freedom of speech, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. Okay. I mean, not as much as Islamic violation of freedom of speech, because some of these are not like each other, right? So if I want to score these countries, I don't know why you put the US there, because the US is fantastic when it comes to freedom of speech. United States gets an A plus on freedom of speech. So why are you putting Biden right next to Macron? So yes, United States, if United States wants to lecture the rest of the world when it comes to the freedom of speech, it's in a very comfortable position to do so because it's very consistent with the application of freedom of speech. Macron, however, yes, we have some criticism, but again, that's rich coming from you, somebody who supports Islam. Right? Okay, we liberals, we get to criticize Macron. You shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up. Right? So if the US gets an A plus when it comes to freedom of expression, France gets an A minus. Still an A, but not as good as United States, but still pretty good relative to the rest of the world. Still pretty good. Okay, still pretty good. It's a passing grade, but much more than a passing grade. You're a Muslim. You get an F. If you shut up, you shut the fuck up. Me as a liberal who has United States level expectations when it comes to freedom of speech, I get to criticize Macron. You don't get to criticize Macron. In fact, when it comes to secularism, then it's Macron and France that gets an A plus. And United States gets an A minus, right? So there's something in France that is better than the United States. I don't know why you're putting United States and France next to each other as if they're the same thing. They're not the same thing. Right, let's continue.
Twitter account because he was worried about the safety of his family. Contradictions that we're seeing about freedom of speech from countries that lecture the rest of the world about freedom of speech, bomb them, and want to share their liberal values.
Bomb them. What does this got to do with freedom of speech? They're like, lecture the rest of the world about freedom of speech and bomb them. Okay, well, each one of those bombings should be judged separately. Some of them are justified. Some of them we can criticize. These categories of criticism do not belong next to each other. Your video is about freedom of expression. I don't know why you're all of a sudden talking about the different area of criticism.
When they can't even follow these values themselves?
Yeah, I mean, from
They are following these values better than. What are you talking about? You're talking about France. France is not perfect, but it's really good when it comes to following liberal values. It's one of the best countries.
And want to share.
Give me examples. I have examples for why some places where France falls short compared to the standards that we want. I have examples of that. I don't think you have the example. Maybe you actually have some examples that are good. Let me see what you
Their
have.
liberal values when they can't even follow these values themselves?
Yeah, I mean, France, which is supposed to be the bastion of liberty, freedom of speech, they recently arrested somebody for posting things showing,
Yeah, that's a good example. Yeah, that's nonsense. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's a horrible. That's a violation of freedom of expression. Telegram CEO being charged. What the hell? Like, that's insane. That is insane. I don't see France going out and arresting, telephone companies because people made calls on the phone and arranged a crime. Right? I don't see you doing that. So it makes absolute no sense for you to arrest the CEO of Telegram. Like, what the hell? That is insanity. That is insanity. However, you shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up. You guys you believe in a religion that kills people for changing their opinion. What are you talking about? I get to call out France. I'm a liberal. You don't get to call out France if you believe in this. This is, hey, people, this is Muhammad. Let me actually bring you. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. This is a Sahih Hadith, guys. Darul Salam has graded this Hadith as Sahih. That this is an authentic Hadith that is part of Islamic teaching. Okay, so look, the Messenger of Allah, meaning Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi, said, this is a quote, short and sweet, to the point, by Muhammad himself, the role model for all men at all time. This is what he said. Okay, very small. I picked this one so I don't have to read out to you a long hadith, because there's a lot more hadiths like this. There's a lot more hadiths like this. I just wanted to pick a very short and simple one for you. Okay, this is what Muhammad said: whoever changes his religion, kill him. Excuse me, one more time. Okay, whoever changes his religion, kill him. Whoever changes his religion, kill him. Just like that. Just like that. Huh? What? And then you believe this? You endorse this? I mean, none of these people are hadith deniers, by the way. None of these Muslims that you're seeing are hadith deniers. They're not Quranists. So they believe this. They think you have to believe this. And you believe this, and you are calling this out? You're calling this out for France arresting Telegram CEO? You shut up. You shut the fuck up. I will criticize France. The liberal people in the live chat, they could criticize France. You shut the fuck up. Anyways, let's continue.
The owner of Telegram, that essentially that there is no such thing as absolute freedom of speech. And that's what we've been saying for a very long time.
Yeah, absolute. We don't want absolute freedom of speech. We want maximum freedom of speech. We want United States level of free speech, okay? Not in the United States, reach that level, okay? Not absolute. So in the United States, for example, some speech are criminal, and some speech could get you into civil issues, right? So for example, in the United States, if a direct threat of harm is an example of a speech that is illegal in the United States. Okay, that's a very few speech is illegal in the United States. That's the level that we want. Or for example, defamation, if you knowingly lie about something about someone that causes them monetarily, they have a cost that you could measure monetarily, then they could sue you in court, and that's not criminal, that's civil law. So we have criminal law and we have civil law, but it's a very difficult thing for you to win, because you have to prove that it's a lie, you have to prove that it was intentional, and that you have to prove that there are damages that you could measure monetarily. So it's a very difficult thing to prove in civil court. So those are the few exceptions that limit your freedom of expression in the United States, and they are reasonable. So get us just to that level, get us to the level of United States, not France, United States. That's what we want. That's the level of free speech we want. So you don't know what you're talking about, free speech absolutists. That is not what we're asking for. That's not what liberals are asking for.
So they've shown through their own actions that actually freedom of speech comes with responsibilities, and there's limits to these things, which should be consistent across the board.
Yeah, limits, reasonable limits, not this level of limit. What the hell are you talking about? You know what they try to do? They're like, so free speech is not absolute, you say? So you guys believe in limits? Well, there you go then. There you go. You believe in limits? We believe in limits. Potato, potato. It's just a different level of limits. What are you on about? It's almost as if you have a country where people who go above 50 while they're driving, there's police just shoots them on sight. Imagine if you do have a country where you have snipers in every highway, and any car that goes above 50, the snipers just take out the driver. Okay, imagine if you had a country like that. And we came out and said that, okay, that's insanity. What are you guys doing in your country? And in defense, they came out and said, well, your country has speed limits, so you believe in speed limits as well, I see. See, you and I are not so different after all. You guys have speed limits in your country. We have speed limits in our country as well. Do not criticize us for our speed limits. What? Okay, yes, we have speed limits. We don't shoot people for going above it. Like, this is not the same. This is not the same. Just because there's a limit to freedom of speech, even in the United States, that doesn't mean that all limits to freedom of speech are all of a sudden justified. You believe in killing people for having the wrong opinion. You want to compare that to United States, for example, making it illegal to directly threaten someone? Huh? Okay. Let's go.
That has experience in being banned because of the curtailing of his freedom of speech. Let's look at the panel here. It says, Sneako, you're here. So you obviously have experience in this.
That was an attempt at a joke, by the way, guys, if you didn't get that.
And naturally, you're going to be looking at stories that are in line with this. So, yeah, enlighten us.
Yeah, I've had a lot of conversations recently about Muslims making their own platforms in order to combat the censorship that happens on platforms, especially being people who are vocal about Palestine. But
okay, see, here's their first example. Sneako, you're not very smart. Obviously, you're not very smart. Freedom of expression. It's about us limiting the government into meddling in our speech. That's what freedom of expression is about. Facebook or Meta is a private company. They get to sometimes they get to basically remove speech that they don't like. That is their right. In fact, that is their freedom of speech. That is their freedom of expression. You could argue that their censorship is not justified. You could argue that they have the wrong policies. That makes no sense. You could criticize them for being overly censorial. However, you cannot criticize them for violating your freedom of expression. It's their platform. It's their company. It's a private company. If you stop them, if you force them to keep certain speech on their platform, even though they don't want to, that is actually a violation of their freedom of expression. If a government comes and tells Facebook or Meta, that speech that you want, that post that you want to remove, let's say, for example, Facebook or Meta, sees the speech on Facebook, like, oh, I need to remove that, or I'm going to lose advertisers. I will lose advertisers if I leave that speech on my platform. Okay, I want to make money, so I'm going to go remove that speech. If the government comes and tells Facebook that no, you have to keep that speech there, even if it costs you money, then you just violated their expression. They're a private company. They should be able to do that. Hey, you idiot, Sneako. What if I, while let's say you're at Thanksgiving and you're enjoying a meal with your family, okay? What if I just come in through the window and I jump on the table while you guys are enjoying your dinner and I read to you the God delusion? Okay? I just read it out to the family, your family, right? I just want to read that to your family. And I want you two guys to just listen to me just preaching the God delusion to the rest of you guys, right? Would you ask me to get the fuck out of your house? Would you call the cops on me? What if I then complain about my freedom of expression? Like, hey, Sneako, why are you kicking me out of your house? I get to read this book to your family while you're eating dinner. I get to be here in your home reading this book to your family at your dinner party or whatever you're doing. Does that make any sense? Oh, what? Oh, guys, I forgot to put on the super chat because Alfred was not here. Now Alfred is here and is highlighting the comments. Sorry about that. I will fix that for you guys. There we go. Okay. Super chats are on now. Thank you guys for telling me. Guys, you can now use the super chats if you want me to read something. Thank you, Alfred. Alfred was... Oh, Dolly is here. Is that Dolly or Alfred? I don't know who's on. Okay, no, Alfred cannot make it. Dolly is here. Dolly, can you highlight the comments? Because for some reason, Alfred couldn't make it right now. So somebody's saying, I mean, what are you yapping about? I'm saying that if you're in someone's private house or private company or in a private space, if you remove them from the space that you own, that is not a violation of your free speech. If you come to my house and decide to preach to my children, if I kick you out, that is not a violation of your free speech. That's the way it works with Facebook. Facebook owns that area. If they kick you out, that is not a violation of your free speech. If let's say, for example, somebody here says something that I don't like. If I ban you, that is not a violation of your free speech. You know why? Because I am not the government. I am not the government. This is my live chat. I get to remove you from the live chat without this being a violation of your free speech because you get to go say that speech somewhere else if you wanted to. If the government comes and jails you, fines you, executes you, tortures you, imprison you, threaten you, or even if the government decides to withhold protection from you because of your speech, that would be a violation of your free speech. Not if a private company removes your account. Not if I ban you, for example, in the live chat. Not if you enter my house and want you and remove you from my house because you're saying something that I don't like. If you come to my house and you say something that I don't like, and I'm like, okay, get out. You're not welcome here anymore. I get to kick you out of my house. That is not a violation of freedom of expression. Do you understand this? This is very important for people to understand because every time somebody removes somebody else from their community, from their group, from their live chat, or if their account gets deleted, somebody like, what happened to my freedom of expression? What? I thought you believe in freedom of speech. You don't understand freedom of speech. That's what I'm saying.
Mainstream free speech platforms like Twitter, aka X, they're not really free speech when you look at a guy, Barry Stanton.
Okay, Alfred, can you highlight the comments? Alfred is back now. Alfred, I don't know what's happening if you're not here highlighting the comments. I really need you guys. Thank you, Dolly, for filling the for being coming up here for a while.
Who was just criticizing Indian Hindus for he's posting AI images of.
Okay, okay, he's showing this. Wow, that's daring. Look at this.
But the mainstream free speech platforms like Twitter, aka X, they're not really free speech when you look at a guy, Barry Stanton, who was just criticizing Indian Hindus for he's posting AI images of Indians pooping everywhere, which is it's so silly and stupid. Like he's like it's just an old Indian man.
So look at the memes that they're posting. So
More vocal about Palestine.
So it's so interesting that now you are. Look at
but the mainstream free speech platforms like Twitter, aka X, they're not really free speech when you look at a guy, Barry Stanton, who was just criticizing Indian Hindus for.
So they're criticizing Indian Hindus because they're supporting Israel and Jews these days a lot. And look, they made a wow. Okay, they made a menorah out of poop apparently.
He's posting AI images.
Basically, they're making fun of Hindus and Indians with because they, you know, there's a lot of this on Twitter right now, right? A lot of people are claiming like Indians like poop in the street and they don't have toilets. So there's a lot of poop related jokes. Again, YouTube, not my jokes. It's their jokes.
Of Indians pooping everywhere, which is it's so silly and stupid. Like he's like it's just an old Indian man dressed as Batman, farting through the sky and pooping through the sky. Just stupid stuff like that he was posting every day. He got reported so much by angry, the word now in X is Jeets. The angry Jeets got so upset that they mass reported him and they got him banned. So there's no incitement of violence. There's nothing that violates the terms of service. But
he was actually being covered.
Okay, well, I mean, where were you guys complaining about so-called freedom of speech when people were being removed on Twitter for posting about Islam? My account on Twitter, my personal account, Armin Navabi, and Atheist Republic Twitter account was removed on Twitter because of posts about Islam and Hinduism. But you guys never complained, and it came back eventually when Elon Musk basically took over Twitter. But all the posts that were being reported for criticizing Islam, you guys were never coming there and complaining about free speech. Where were you guys back then?
By the Indian media as well. I think channel like News 18.
Well,
by the way, guys, follow me on Twitter. Search Armin Navabi. Follow me on Twitter or X. Whatever.
It's funny because the UK conquered India before it. It seems like he did it again. You know, all it took was one angry British guy.
In a couple of.
Oh, we're getting super chats now. Now that I turned on the super chats. Yes, guys. Sorry, I had the super chats off. If I have the super chats off, let me know so I could turn it on. Buttercup with the $2, £2 super chat saying, "I'm not super chatting. I'm getting high." Well, you are super chatting. Well, thank you for your super chat. Yeah. Okay. Good. Let's go.
Weeks.
And in the span of pretty much a week, just posting AI images. Not just that, not just AI, but showing the Hindu rituals they do. There's posted some funny images of Indian Hindus literally worshiping a statue of Trump and of a cone in the street. I think the UN put a cone in the street to block traffic or something, and the Indian Hindus ended up worshiping and decorating a shrine to it. So freedom of speech only goes so far.
They called it the Shiv Linga, which is the private part of their god. And they go and they put milk on it to, it's like the ejaculation. Yeah. Well, that's what it is. No, I'm serious. Yeah, I'm serious.
Oh, okay. Because I didn't know.
I didn't understand. Why do you guys get to make fun of Hinduism like that and then cry about people making fun of Islam then? Like, what is this? You guys, I thought you believed in. I thought your standard was like we would make fun of other people's religion, and you guys shouldn't make fun of our religion as well. But it seems like you get to. What happened? You get to make fun of Hinduism. Because the reason why I'm saying this is because Smile to Jannah was, in some of his other videos, he acted like, yeah, we don't make fun of Hinduism, so you shouldn't make fun of Islam as well. So apparently, no, apparently you do make fun of Hinduism. So then it's fine for us to make fun of Islam. Like we're just doing the same thing that you're doing.
That. And I think without censorship, you're never going to figure stuff like this out. Yeah.
Eddie, you're kind of following the story of Dan Bazarian a lot. And with regards to what he's saying, how do you think his freedom of speech is being curtailed? And is there anybody else? I'm going to give it to Eddie, Ali, yeah?
I'm going to hold it for you.
Yeah, no, I'm going to give it to Eddie, yeah?
Okay.
Freedom of expression, Ed.
I mean, before him, what I was thinking about the Israeli Wire, or was it the Daily Wire? Israeli Wire? Which one is it?
Israeli wise, more correct, yeah.
It's more correct?
That's what it was called all the time. I was thinking there was a connection.
So look at this. The Daily Wire, they hate it because it's owned by Ben Shapiro. I mean, these people don't really hide their anti-Semitic views, do they? Like, oh, media controlled by Jews, like they're making fun of it. Oh, it's not the Daily Wire, it's the Israeli Wire. Okay, sure.
Yeah, you had recently with the Candace Owens. And that was like a platform of promoting freedom of speech, and they were going against many of the boys can be girls, girls can be boys, and you know, many of the liberal values that are out there that are not really values, but they're changing, sexualizing the children and whatnot. So they were really promoting this freedom of speech, but now when it criticized a particular group of people or a country, and then she went up against that, you know, it's suddenly everything shifted, everything changed. We see countless examples of this. It's just.
I don't understand what changed. Candace Owens was never celebrating people. He's not being very clear about what he's talking about. Candace Owens and Daily Wire was not celebrating boys becoming girls, girls becoming boys. Like, what shift?
Boys and, you know, many of the liberal values that are out there that are not really values, but they're changing, sexualizing the children and whatnot. So they were really promoting this freedom of speech, but now when it criticized a particular group of people or a country, and then she went up against.
So Ben Shapiro and Candace Owens split reflects how Israel anti-Semitism divides the U.S. Right? I don't understand. Where is the violation of freedom of speech here? Candace Owens went full-on anti-Semitic, full-on anti-Jewish, full-on anti-Israel, full-on conspiratorial, and then, you know, Ben Shapiro didn't like that, and the Daily Wire didn't like that, and she lost her job there. And none of these people are in favor of boys changing to girls and girls changing to boys, as he says it. So that's not relevant. But what does this got to do with free speech? You have Candace Owens as promoting values that Daily Wire doesn't agree with. So she left that company, and her voice is now louder than ever. She's still talking. She's still loud. She's still famous. She has her voice. Guys, can you explain to me what is this Eddie guy talking about? How is this a country? What does this got to do with freedom of expression? Like, oh, these hypocrite liberals, pointing at some of the most right-leaning people in the U.S. Look at the hypocrisy here. They believe in freedom of speech, but Candace Owens had a disagreement with Ben Shapiro, and there was a split, and now she has her own show, and she is still being heard, and nobody can stop her from saying the things that she's saying, and that has somehow a violation of freedom of speech. Make it make sense, guys. Make it make sense. What the fuck are these people talking about? Do they even understand the principles that they're trying to criticize here? Can you guys tell me, is the fact that Candace Owens lost her job, do they think that's a violation of freedom of expression? So do they think that freedom of expression means that I get to say anything I want and keep my job, and my employer is forced to keep me employed? And if my employer, if we give the rights to the employer to stop working with me, then that would be a violation of my free speech. So maybe we should examine it. So if I go to my boss, for example, and swear at him in his face and also insult his entire family, and the boss was like, oh, wow, okay, I didn't know you're this kind of person, you're fired. Is that a violation of my free speech? Because that is, do you know that Ben Shapiro is not the government? Candace Owens in the United States, in fact, this is a great example of how free speech oriented the United States is. Candace Owens is saying the most vile, anti-Semitic, disgusting, racist, conspiratorial things, and nobody can stop her. In fact, she's getting more famous for it. The government cannot stop Candace Owens. Nobody can stop her. She still is. She's free. Nobody is charging her. Nobody is imprisoning her. Nobody is executing her. Nobody is torturing her. The government is not coming out and questioning her. It's not like the UK where the police goes to her door and tells her to stop. None of that is happening. Even though she's saying the most insane things, she's spreading the most garbage propaganda on social media, and there's nothing the government can do. Even if they wanted to, the government does not have, the law stops the government. The law is in Candace Owens' favor. The strongest government on the planet does not have the power to stop this one individual. Look how, this is the beauty of liberalism. We have a nation state, the most powerful nation state in the world, with all its military might, with all its power, is completely helpless when it comes to stopping Candace Owens. The law is so powerful that if the entire military and the entire government of the United States wanted to stop Candace Owens, they are not able to do that. One individual is so powerful when it comes to their speech in the United States that it can basically say something that the world's most powerful military cannot do anything about it. That's how powerful free speech is in the United States. And you want to highlight the fact that she lost her job? She's fine. She's still rich. She's still making a shit ton of money. She's still famous. Nothing happened to her. This is actually a perfect example of how strong freedom of speech principles are in the United States.
Against that, you know, it's suddenly everything shifted, everything changed. We see countless examples of this. It's just unbelievable. And we see the most censored, one of the most.
How is this Eddie guy is another Muslim YouTuber that is famous? How is he famous? He cannot even put a sentence properly together. All his videos must be edited, because when he's asked a question and he needs to come up with an answer right there, I have no idea what the fuck he's saying. Like, I had to actually translate what he was saying to try to make sense of his Candace Owens comments, but he's not able to make his point.
It's suddenly everything shifted, everything changed. We see countless examples of this. It's just unbelievable. And we see the most censored, one of the most censored, canceled individuals right here that's experienced it firsthand.
Well, I like what Candace Owens is doing for the most part and who she's criticizing. I think we should.
Of course you do. Of course you do. You be Muslim, you be anti-Semitic, and if some other people become anti-Semitic, you all of a sudden fall in love with them as well. This is something that you like about other. Yeah, your anti-Semitic. Your anti-Semitism is what unites these people more than anything else, right? You know how Muslims say that what brings them together, the centralized idea or principle that unites Islam, is Tawheed, which is the oneness of God. They be lying. They're lying. It's not that. It's anti-Jewish hatred. They love their anti-Jewish hatred so much that even if you're outside of Islam and you demonstrate that you hate Jews, they love you as well. They will see, they're willing to look beyond the fact that you're not a Muslim. They will just fall in love with you.
Call her Candace Owens now.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
What? Wait a minute. What? Hold on. Did I hear that right? Guys, did I hear that right? I hope he doesn't mean what I think he means.
Examples of this. It's just unbelievable. And we see the most censored, one of the most censored, canceled individuals right here.
First of all, I forgot to mention this. He's pointing at Sneako as one of the most canceled individuals. Are you serious right now? Are you serious? This guy, his voice is louder than most people on the planet. Unbelievable.
That's experienced it firsthand.
Yeah, Arthur, I thought I heard that. What is that joke referring to? Because is it referring to what I think it's referring to? Because that is fucking dark. Hold on, listen to this.
Well, I like what Candace Owens is doing for the most part and who she's criticizing. I think we should call her Candace Owens now.
Yeah, I mean, you're not sure you guys touched.
I think we should call her Candace Owens. What? Huh? Guys, is this a reference to the Holocaust? Is this a I don't know what he's trying to say. Is this a reference to the Is this a reference to burning Jewish people at Auschwitz? Is that what it is? Because I don't know what he means. Maybe I hope it means something else. Yes, that's his joke. Holy fuck, that went dark. How is this on YouTube? This is a YouTube. What the fuck? You get to say this and stay on YouTube, and you guys feel like you're still canceled? Hold on. This is on Ali Davil's channel. What the fuck? Yeah, this is still on. This is on. Sorry, this is on Smile to Jannah's channel, not Ali Davil. Let me see. How long ago was posted? Yeah, this was posted 4 days ago. It has already received 75,000 views. Okay, wow. Much canceled. Very canceled. This video is monetized and everything. Oh, wow. You guys are so canceled. Oh, my God. I feel so bad. You guys are so canceled. You get to call, because Candace Owens is basically criticizing Jews, and you think you guys are like holding them responsible and calling it as it is, as you guys think she is. Like, I'm not saying that. You are calling her Candace Owens, making a reference to how the Yazidis were burning Jews, and that's the joke here, and you get to be on YouTube while you say that. I mean, this is not criticism of Judaism like we do here, guys. This is basically, holy crap. And okay, and you guys still cry. You still want to claim victimhood. By the way, Candace Owens was also huge on YouTube. Like, not only these people are not canceled, like Candace Owens has more than 2 million subscribers on YouTube. So you get to be this anti-Semitic and you still have your YouTube channel. Like, not only the government is not coming after you, your accounts are not even removed for being this anti-Semitic. Sneako was in trouble not because of his views. Sneako basically, wait, I can't even say what Sneako did that got him removed in so many places. But anyway, let's continue.
On many of the points, but it's just we made a fine example of the freedom of speech hypocrisy where.
Guys, I seriously can't believe that. Is he seriously calling Candace Owens, celebrating Candace Owens by calling her Candace Owens? Is he actually making reference to the Auschwitz? Is that really his joke? I can't get over that being his joke.
Candace Owens is doing for the most part and who she's criticizing. I think we should call her Candace Owens now.
Yeah, I mean, you're not sure you guys touched on many of the points, but it's just we made a fine example of the freedom of speech hypocrisy when me and Mohammed Hijab were invited to Tel Aviv Tommy.
How dare you say that you're being censored where you put that out there and nothing happens to you? Oh, Ramo is saying, thank you, Armin, for standing for truth. Well, thank you, Ramo. Thank you for being a member for 7 months.
Who's been directly funded by Israel, one of his freedom of speech events, basically, it was open to everybody. And I thought, let me do a little social experiment. And as a Muslim, I'm sure if it's freedom of speech, they would invite me. And then obviously there was a bit of conflict internally because they were like, hold on a second, should we invite him? If we don't invite him, then we go against our own principles. So my name was on the list. We went with Mohammed Hijab, and these thugs actually came and said if he goes on stage, he's not coming back down. So then Tommy Robinson, Tel Aviv Tommy, should we call him here, because he gets funding from there, he actually had to cancel. And I was, and that to me was better because it just showed, and the whole organization fell apart there because the one.
That's not a violation of freedom of speech, you fucking moron. Freedom of speech, even if it's wrong, you could say this was overly censorial and I disagree with it because it's overly censorial. You cannot say this was a violation of my free speech, because freedom of speech does not mean that you have the right to every fucking platform and to every fucking audience. If I don't invite you, if I decide that I don't want to give you a platform for freedom of expression, for your expression, that doesn't mean you don't have the freedom to express yourself. I'm saying go do it somewhere else, not on my platform. I get to decide who gets to use my platform. What does these people think freedom of speech means? Do they think freedom of speech means that I want to speak at your university and now because you believe in freedom of speech, you are obligated to give me the platform that you own for me to speak, and these people are obligated to come and listen to me. You have an audience and I have the right to your audience. Freedom of speech is not the freedom to every fucking audience. The audience and the platform owner are free to choose not to listen to you or not to invite you. That is also their freedom. You get to go talk somewhere else. Oh my, unbelievable. Hey, Ali Dava, I believe in freedom of speech. Does that mean that everybody who contacts me and wants to come and talk on my show, now I'm obligated to invite them and come speak here on my channel? Is that what you think it means? It doesn't mean that. How have you not learned this? You have been, Ali Dava, you have been criticizing freedom of speech for years now. How are you this stupid that you have, is he really this stupid, or is he just like acting like this because it works with his audience? I don't know. Somebody must have told you by now that this is what you believe in is not freedom of speech. This is not what freedom of speech advocates are preaching or are they advocating for.
Ones who truly believed in some sort of freedom of speech went against Tommy and said, look, you're a hater. You're basically you're a lie. You hate Muslims, because how can they Sikh talk? But Ali Dawah, who, he came, we invited him to speak, you actually stopped him from speaking. So that showed me a fine example that they use this false banner of freedom of speech. They don't believe in freedom of speech. They do.
You're still speaking. You look at you. Your freedom of speech was not violated because look, you are able to give your views on your channel and nobody can come stop you. They can stop you from coming to their university. They have the right to do that, but you're still speaking. I
don't believe that too. They just use this false banner to propagate their hate against Islam. And many Israelis, Zionists, have actually said, if you are covering a news which is objectively true, you are Hamas.
If the international media is objective, it serves Hamas. If it just shows both sides, it serves Hamas. My argument is that the media can't just claim to bring both sides of the story. If you do that, you are only bringing one, Hamas' side.
So you're
what the fuck does that got to do with freedom of speech? Okay, so first of all, you didn't put the entire argument. That's why I went to go see what he was saying. Was he actually saying being objective is bad? This is what he was trying to say, okay? Former Israeli Prime Minister Yair Lapid made a statement regarding international media coverage of Israeli-Palestinian conflict. This is what he was getting at. He argued that if the media presents both sides equally, it effectively serves the interests of Hamas. So that's what he was trying to get at, because he was saying you cannot give airtime to both sides as if they're the equal claim. For example, if some people say the earth is flat and the other side says the earth is spherical, then if you invite them to, I don't know, your show and be like, okay, you say we believe in equal time and equal opportunity. Let's see the scientists giving their points for why the earth is spherical, and let's give equal time for the people who are saying the earth is flat, and we will be objective as the media platform, and we will have no bias, and we will let them both present their cases equally with no bias from the media. Some people will say that, well, that's insane. Obviously, these two claims are not the same. You need to be criticizing one side more than the other, because one of them is coming from with evidence and facts, and there's good arguments for it. And if you give equal airtime, and if you with the excuse of being objective, you're basically criticizing both of them equally, you're going to give the impression to the audience as if they have the same standing. That's what he was trying to say. So he argued that if the media is objective and presents both sides equally, it effectively serves the interests of Hamas. Lapid's reasoning is that presenting both sides as equal without scrutinizing the veracity of the claims inherently favors Hamas. He believes that one side, presumably Israel, makes every effort to verify facts, while the other, Hamas, spreads lies. Therefore, by giving equal platform to both, the media might amplify falsehoods propagated by Hamas. And also there's more explanation here. Yeah, so basically what I said. Lapid's perspective suggests that media's attempt to be objective by showing both sides equally can lead to a false equivalence, where the narratives of both parties are presented as equally valid regardless of the underlying facts. Yes, so you cannot. I could see the point. I can see the point that he's making. It does make sense. As the media, it makes more sense if, as a news anchor or a presenter, you cannot just equally criticize all claims. If the claims are more insane, you should be fact-checking it and pushing back against it more. You cannot be, with the excuse of being unbiased, treating them all as if they're all equal. That's a valid point. But even if it wasn't a valid point, what does this got to do with free speech? What does this got to do with free? You guys don't even know what you're talking about. You're bringing in a whole bunch of other things that is not relevant to the topic at hand. Yeah, let's continue.
Basically saying you are saying something which is true, but because it's aiding our enemies, you are not allowed to do that. So
no, he didn't say because you're aiding. So a good thing I went and found the full context, because these people cut certain parts of the video and they don't give it the full context. They make it seem like the guy is just against objectivism. They make it seem like Yair Lapid is against being objective. But what he was saying is that given that all claims are not objectively equal, you cannot treat them objectively as if they're the same. Some views need to be criticized more than the others. I cannot treat the claim that the earth is spherical and the claim that the earth is flat the same. One of these need to be attacked more than the other. That's a very valid point.
I think the only group that cannot be criticized in this world is a Zionist.
I think
the only people that cannot be criticized in the world are Zionists. Guys, there are people right now in our live chat criticizing Zionists right now. Who's stopping them? What the fuck are you talking about? Your channel is criticizing Zionism. The streets of the UK is filled with people protesting against Zionism. The United States, you guys cover protests all around the world criticizing Zionism. Your channels is filled. Not only you are not stopped, you are paid for it. Holy fucking crap. Guys, look at this. Ali Dava just said that the only group in the world who cannot be criticized are the Zionists. Ali Dava, the person with a YouTube channel, an American company, pays Ali Dava for criticizing Zionism. YouTube is an American product owned by an American company, actually is paying Ali Dava money for his criticism of Zionism. So not only the government is not after you, even social media is not after you, and not even social media is not after you. Social media is actually paying you. Like, the reality is completely the opposite of what you're claiming. I look at how ungrateful you are for this level of free speech that you're enjoying. You're not just allowed, you're paid for it. Holy fuck, you live in what world do you live in? Like, it's almost as if the reality does not matter to these people. Oh my fucking God. Oh my fucking God.
Talking of Zionists,
In fact, look, guys, our channel defends Zionism. Look at our channel. Ali Dawa and Small Jannah's channel is anti-Zionism. Look how big their channels are. Look how much growth they had. And they still cry, oh my God, my speech. They're stopping my speech. Smile to Jannah, you have 1 million subscribers. You're fully monetized. Your channel is fully monetized. Let me see Ali Dawa. Oh, I'm still the victim. 1 million subscribers, also Ali Dawa. More than 1 million. But I'm the victim. My speech is, they're stopping us from speaking the truth. What are you on about? Holy fucking crap. What? You always have to find a way to be the victim. Always the victim. Oh, we got a super chat by Mortal Wombat saying, got here far too late. Gonna start watching from the start now. Keep up the amazing work. Love you. Cheers from Germany. Mwah. Thank you so much, Mortal Wombat. I appreciate the super chat. We also got, Anda was saying, Armin, I appreciate your content. Well, thank you, Anda. I appreciate you. There's some other comments that I'll read once I get to the end of this video.
I just saw a post today, I think it was posted by Australian Anti-Semitism, and they were classing a picture as anti-Semitic. Why? Because it said, stop killing babies, free Palestine, stop the genocide now. So apparently if you say stop killing...
Well, because stop killing babies. Who's killing the babies? It's Hamas that's killing the babies. Yes, the Palestinian flag has now unfortunately been turned into an anti-Semitic symbol. Stop killing babies. Who's killing the babies? If you come after me and if you want to kill my family and I try to take you out so that you don't kill my family and you hold your own baby in front of me so that when I try to take you out, your baby gets shot as well. If I take the shot and your baby dies, you killed your baby. You killed your baby. I didn't kill your baby. You killed your own baby, right? So it is this whole stop killing children because it's directed at the Jews. Yes, everything is, when you guys make it seem like everything is the fault of the Jews, it is anti-Semitic.
Why? Because it said, stop killing babies, free Palestine, stop the genocide.
Yeah, if this would not be anti-Semitic, if it was directed at Hamas. Hey, Hamas, please stop killing Palestinian babies. Please stop using Palestinian babies' death for your own terrorist agenda. This would not be anti-Semitic if you were holding Hamas responsible for the killing of the Palestinian babies.
Now, so apparently, if you say stop killing babies, that's classed as
no. You could say stop killing babies, and also you could also be anti-Semitic. Nobody's stopping you. Again, this is not a violation of your free speech. They're calling it anti-Semitic because it is anti-Semitic. Calling it anti-Semitic is not stopping you from saying it. Okay, but it's also so your criticism is wrong in two ways. It's not a violation of free speech. Two, it's not wrong. It is anti-Semitic, but it would be because it misidentifies who's at fault here. When you blame everything on the Jews, that is anti-Semitic. Oh, HD, thank you so much. Then keep up the good work countering the BS. Well, thank you, HD.
Anti-Semitism. Sneako, you were talking about Meta.
Yeah.
And you were talking about Mark Zuckerberg retracting something. What was he retracting?
Well, Mark Zuckerberg was just apologizing for the censorship that he did during COVID. I don't know how much I could say about this on YouTube. That was the main reason.
Yeah, and also Mark Zuckerberg, they decided internally to take the intelligence office's recommendation to remove posts, and they made a mistake. So they agreed that they made a mistake doing that, but they also make it clear that they weren't pressured. They just chose to give in to their request. Legally, the government couldn't have done anything to them if they decided to keep those posts there. And that's why Mark Zuckerberg is now coming and saying, next time I will not give in to their request, because he knows he can't do that. If the government comes and asks Facebook to remove certain posts, Facebook could have just kept them there and the government could not do anything about it. That's why he's saying that next time that they ask me that, I will keep those posts there, because they are able to do that, because the government can't force them.
One of the reasons YouTube said they banned me was medical misinformation.
Yeah, Sneako, I believe that, okay? Honestly, if YouTube removed you for COVID medical misinformation, I believe that you're the type of person that spreads medical misinformation.
But he apologized for all the censorship he did during COVID.
Guys, also a lot of people think that we are as an Atheist Republic are hypocrites because our accounts have been removed from Facebook. Our channel sometimes gets hit with strikes. Our Twitter accounts on Facebook. We have I'm saying this as somebody. Atheist Republic had a Facebook page with more than 2 million followers. We had 2.5 million followers on Facebook. Go look. Atheist Republic Facebook page has been removed. We have been removed from Facebook, and we come and we complain about it. We think that was the wrong decision to make by Facebook. Like, oh, Armin, you're a hypocrite. You are saying that these people are calling this a violation of freedom of expression, but you yourself is complaining that Facebook removed your page. Yes, we are complaining, but we're not calling it a violation of freedom of the freedom of our expression. So we are consistent. If you think that we are being hypocrites, it's because you're an idiot. Because you do not listen. Listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth, okay? Are we upset that Facebook removed our Facebook page, Atheist Republic Facebook page, with more than 2 million followers? Yes. Do we complain about it? Yes. Are we trying to find somebody to help us at Facebook to bring that page back? Yes. Is that hypocritical? No. Why is it not hypocritical? Because even though it was a stupid decision by Facebook to remove our Facebook page, it was not a violation of our freedom of expression. Do you understand? We complain about it for the right reasons. We tell Facebook that this is overly censorial. We don't tell Facebook that you have violated our freedom of expression because Facebook is not the fucking government. Do you understand? Do you understand the difference? I mean, it would have been, if we wanted to get more attention and cry that we're more of a victim than we actually are, then it would have benefited us for saying like, oh, our freedom of expression has been violated. That would have been working in our favor because more of you would have come like, oh my God, what happened to freedom of expression? Then we would get more support and get on our Facebook page back. But we don't say that because we want to be consistent, because we don't want to be lying to you guys. Okay? Do you understand? Do you understand? Okay, I hope you understand. Let's continue.
About beliefs you could have about certain vaccines, and I don't know if you can still say that on YouTube, but I want to show you this article from yesterday that I found. It says rootless masculinity influencers are pivoting to wildly anti-Semitic claims, and then it's written by a Jewish lady, and then the 5 people are, that's me, Dan Bilzerian, Nick Fuentes, Tristan Tate, and Andrew Tate. And so now we're
okay, these are actually a good list of anti-Semitic people. Is true.
From yesterday that I found. It says rootless masculinity influencers are pivoting to wildly anti-Semitic claims, and then it's.
I'm glad. What is rootless masculinity? Because I don't want to be anti-masculinity on this channel. Okay, there is the masculinity that these people are promoting is horrible. Okay, but in this channel we celebrate both positive masculinity and also positive femininity. Is that how you say it? Yes, both of them are great. Okay, but yeah, so I don't know what rootless means. But yeah, these people's masculinity is toxic. So it says these ruthless masculinity influences are pivoting to widely anti-Semitic claims. Yes, they be doing that. That's true.
Written by a Jewish lady, and then the 5 people are that's.
Oh, I'm glad that you mentioned it's by a Jewish lady. Okay.
Me, Dan Bilzerian, Nick Fuentes.
Dan Bilzerian. Okay, Nick. Yes, Nick is definitely anti-Semitic. Okay, these are all.
It says Tristan Tate and Andrew Tate, and so
yes.
now.
I mean, that's a pretty good list. That list is not exaggerating. These people are anti-Semitic.
We're masculinity influence. I didn't know it was a masculinity influencer. It's kind of cool, and it's also.
Am I on that list?
Not yet. No.
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
You're on the female list.
See, that's the toxic version of masculinity that I was talking about. You're on the female list. Ha 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 ha. Females, right? Am I right? Females. Who wants to be female? Wow. Like female just being inferior, just an female being an insult. Okay. The fact that female is an insult shows the level of toxicity that their masculinity has. Oh yeah, let's make fun of you. You're on the female list. The fact that female is seen as something that you could make fun of with someone, the fact that it's seen as an insult shows the way that these people look at femininity, look at female. This is their view on female.
I think the same claims that they use to advocate for censorship don't work anymore. When I hear somebody is anti-Semitic, I'm like, well, let me go listen. There must be some.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, it's given credibility. It's like a badge of honor now because you've ruined it so much to such a degree. It's like a woman who, like a girl who's been, should we say, raped. Yes, we'll use that word. And she lied about it. You just done such a big disservice to all the people who genuinely are going through that. And that's what some of the Jewish individuals were saying. You know what? You've used this word so much, it's lost its value. Everyone is an anti-Semite now.
That was the last post of Bassem Youssef before he.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? He's like saying people are accusing so many people of anti-Semitism that it has lost this meaning. It's like somebody, it's like the boy who cried wolf. It's like the people who are women who are making false rape accusations, and then it makes it more difficult for some other people. Are you fucking serious? You are the people, you specifically are the people who were crying out Islamophobia every time somebody criticized Islam or said something mildly offensive to you guys, to the point where Islamophobia is now, you know, doesn't have that power that it has to use before. Now you're crying, you're saying this about anti-Semitism, where you are the people who you did the same thing with the Islamophobia accusation. Wow, the hypocrisy here. But also here's the thing. I'm consistent here. I have seen the anti-Semitism accusation sometimes being used in some places where it's not justified. That is true. Some people do overuse that accusation. Some people do, but not you guys, not you motherfuckers. Every time you actually claim that something was not anti-Semitic, I looked at it, your examples, they were genuine anti-Semitism. They were anti-Semitic. So you're no one to speak here. You shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up. Let's continue.
Deactivated his account in which he was challenging and saying that this anti-Semitic accusation has been watered down so much it's literally lost its value. And I remember even.
Oh, Alfred, this hand guy is actually not very intelligent. I think like it's ableism if you highlight his comments. He's not actually very smart. Don't make fun. Don't highlight him.
In the UK also, there was a woman that was holding up a banner with 3 coconuts on there. And that was done satirically to, you know, a satire.
Oh, wait, look at this. Look at this. Look at what they're defending.
Youssef before he deactivated his account in which he was challenging and saying that this anti-Semitic accusation has been watered down so much it's literally lost its value. And I remember even in the UK also, there was a woman that was holding up a banner with 3 coconuts.
Look, okay, so there was a woman that was holding up a banner putting Sunak and that other politician that I forgot her name, the UK politicians. These are brown UK politicians. They are, look at, like, they're putting pictures of coconut next to them. Do you guys know what the coconut means here, right? So this is very racist. This woman, you're looking at a racist. This woman is a racist because they're judging these people by their skin color. They're saying that they're coconuts because even though they're brown, they're betraying brown people because inside they're white, as if being white is a bad thing. So they're not actually brown people. Their ideology, their views are white. So they're brown on the outside, but they're white in the inside. So don't see them as brown people. See them as people with white values. They are betraying other brown people. And white here is actually being seen as an insult. So this is a racist woman who has managed to, this coconut accusation is racism to both brown people and white people at the same time, because it expects brown people to behave and have certain values and just abide by group mentality or tribalism. And it also considers whiteness to be an insult. So yeah, this is racism, but let's see.
Coconuts on there. And that was done satirically to, you know, a satire, Subur, has been used, especially in Britain, as an anti-establishment tool, as a tool of protest.
Okay, so now he's defending satire. It's very rich for the people, from these people who criticize Charlie Hebdo or anybody who drives Muhammad. They're like, oh, this woman, she was just being satirical. She was just being, I mean, she was being racist, but she's like, oh, that's just satire, okay?
Yet she was charged, and yet the matter went to court.
Absolutely. And look at
Okay, so yeah, that's wrong. Look at that article. Hold on.
The
Let's
establishment
pause there.
tool as a tool of protest, yet
So a woman who carried a placard depicting Sunak and I don't know how to pronounce this woman's names. Breverman as coconuts charged with hate crime. Okay, so this is racist, but fuck UK for charging this woman. Okay, so we are against this. Like UK, this is not right. This is insanity. This is insanity. I mean, these people should shut the fuck up, because again, remember, they believe in an ideology. They believe in Islam that teaches you to kill people who change their religion. So they should shut the fuck up. They're no one to speak here. They're hypocrites. However, UK, we get to criticize. We liberals get to criticize UK for charging that woman. But first of all, it's amazing how he was defending the racism from that woman, trying to call it satirical, right? But we don't defend her. We're against her views. She is a racist. That was a racist sign that she was holding, but the government should not be charging her.
especially in Britain, as an anti-establishment tool, as a tool of protest, yet she was charged, and yet the matter went to court.
Absolutely. And look at the way that the Prophet, peace be upon him, is insulted in the French media and
I mean, where was in the UK when they arrest people for insulting Muhammad or insulting Islam? You guys do not defend that. When this woman is being racist and she's charged with hate crime, right? You guys are defending her. But if the same woman was holding a picture of Prophet Muhammad and she was charged with hate crime in the UK, you wouldn't be highlighting that. You wouldn't be defending that. You would be supporting the police when it comes to arresting her.
And look at the way that the Prophet, peace be upon him, is insulted in the French media and other media outlets. But when it comes to the French president or his wife, then that's a red line.
By the way, red pill community doesn't like you sitting like that. Hold on. You're talking masculinity and femininity.
She
Look
was
at this.
charged, and yet the matter went to court.
Absolutely. And look at the way that the Prophet, peace be upon him, is insulted.
So look, the way that this man on the left is sitting, this is not approved by the red pill masculinity culture on social media right now. Look at all these other men. They have their legs open. That's how you're supposed to be sitting. You, sir, according to these people, are sitting like a woman. And to these people, sitting like, that's an insult. Okay. Look at the way look at that your hand. Okay. They don't like that. That is, these people should be calling you out. The red pill community, like, why are you putting your leg over your leg and putting your hand over your hand like this and sitting like that? Okay, that is too feminine for their culture. They should be calling you out. Like, look at the way they're sitting. You should be sitting like that.
In the French media and other media outlets, but when it comes to the French president or his wife, then that's a red line. So it's very selective. It's a selective outrage, which people are seeing the limits to their propaganda, because it's falling apart in front of their eyes.
So Eddie, I mean, in the media it just gets shown as Muslims, we can't take a joke. Yeah, we're curtailing
You can't.
freedom of speech. However, what's been your experience with regards to when other religions get mocked? And is it true that only Muslims can't take a joke?
I think
This is a fallacy. Okay, this is black and white fallacy. No, they have examples of people who can't take jokes as well. Okay, but relatively, Muslims get more butthurt. I mean, to be fair, our experience with Hindutva, there's a huge level of butthurt over there as well. If you criticize their religion, they get very butthurt as well, right? But Christians are relatively more chill. So you're saying Christians and Jews be so chill on average. Not all of them. Obviously, you're going to find exceptions. But Christians and Jews, compared to Muslims and Hindus, are a lot more chill about people making fun of their religion. I was in Israel. They had on their TV in Israel, they were making fun of Moses. On their fucking TV in Israel, they're making fun of Moses. Okay? So, yeah, Christians and Jews on average are a lot more chill. Hindus and Muslims, they be sensitive. regarding people coming at their religion. In fact, I might get attacked for just saying this right now by Hindus in the comment and in the live chat.
With regards to when
Oh, Alfred is saying something. No. Yes. Okay, so Alfred, that's a long comment, Alfred. I don't know what you're saying.
other religions get mocked and
Guys, do you agree, like Hindus in the live chat, do you not agree that the level of sensitivity when it comes to mocking religions is the highest among Muslims and Hindus, and it's the lowest among Christians and Jews? The level of sensitivity is lower, right? I mean, right? But Hindus and Muslims share that. Like, they get butthurt. They get really butthurt on average, okay? But Smile to Jannah is the way he's like responding. He's like, oh, do other people from other religions get upset? It's not about if they get upset. It's about the level. How many people on average? How much sense? How much? Yes, I'm gonna be able to find you a Christian that gets really butthurt if you make fun of Jesus. Okay, obviously there's examples for everything. This is the black and white fallacy. It's a spectrum. It's not on or off. It's the level that you have to care about, not whether or not it exists.
and is it true that only Muslims can't take a joke?
I think right now it's just a convenience card to be used. I mean, because it's of no value. I mean, when you see right now the so-called freedom of speech, I mean, when
Okay, so Asura, Arasu is saying, not at all. I am half Hindu. I'm a fan of Armin. Okay, so this is anecdotal. Okay, so I didn't say every single Hindu. Obviously, that's not. I met so many Hindus that are okay, and they have a thick skin, and they won't get offended if you criticize or even make fun of Hinduism. I have met many of them. But on average, the level of butthurt is higher. Just because you're not like that, that doesn't mean that this is not true. Like, you as an example does not negate my claim, right? Does that make sense? We have to think in spectrums, not in anecdotal, and also not in black and white. Let's continue.
it's applied towards Muslims when an agenda or it's a certain agenda wants to be pushed, then it's used. It's a convenient card, and we see blatant just hypocrisy. It's just a blatant show of hypocrisy, so much so that now you have certain laws in the United States that are passed that you cannot even criticize a particular country. And if you do, now that can be labeled a certain term, right? But then you have people, it takes me back to the Israeli Wire, the Daily Wire, that you have Matt Walsh, who's on this. He did a response to this.
Should this bill become law, it will mean that a group of foreign governments have had a say in developing speech restrictions that govern American citizens. It should go without saying that American citizens have the right in any and all contexts to criticize foreign governments in whatever way and using whatever language they want. Now, there's another example on the list that's gotten some.
I don't know what you're referring to. We have the First Amendment in the United States. There's no law that could stop Americans from saying whatever the fuck they want. There's nothing in the United States. There's no law that you could pass in the United States that will stop Americans from being able to express their opinions.
Attention, it's anti-Semitic to claim that Jews killed Jesus. That's what the IHRA says. But that is not a claim.
That is anti-Semitic. Okay, look at this. Listen to this.
Another example on the list that's gotten some attention. It's anti-Semitic to claim that Jews killed Jesus. That's what the IHRA says. But that is not a claim invented by anti-Semites. That's in the gospel.
That's why a lot of people.
You fucking moron alert. Guys, I will say something. Tell me if this is racist. Okay? Yes, the USA. Tell me if this is racist. If I said Koreans assault children, South Koreans, okay, assault children, is that racist? Tell me, please, in the live chat. Korean people assault children. Is that racist? That is racist. No, it is racist. What are you saying? What do you mean no? But then if you call, no, it is racist. It is racist if I say Koreans assault children. What are you talking about? Yes, abandoned you. But then if you come in like Armin, what the hell? That's racist. But then if I say like, is it racist? Well, actually, I will go into South Korea, look at the police reports, and I will find you police reports that show that there are certain people in South Korea that have assaulted children. See? They do assault children. Like, okay, Armin, of course they do. Of course they have people who have assault children. Every country has people who have assault children. Every group of people include some people who assault children. But you didn't say those specific individuals. You said Koreans. You said Koreans. Like, okay, yeah, but I have Koreans that have assaulted children. So my claim is technically true. No, your claim generalized. You took the actions of some Koreans and you attribute it as if it's inherent within Koreans. So let's say, for example, I'm an atheist. I don't believe in biblical stories. But let's say the biblical story is true. There were some Jews at some point that were responsible for crucifying Jesus. Let's say that's a real story, okay? If I take that story and then say the Jews, not those people, not those people. If I say the Jews crucified Jesus, obviously that is racist. Obviously that's anti-Semitic. What the fuck? What the fuck? That is obviously anti-Semitic. Like, no, Armin, that is not anti-Semitic. There were certain Jews that crucified Jesus at that time. It was those Jews. What? It was those specific people. It's not Jews as a collective. What? What? How is this not obvious? How is this not obvious? Like, this Matt Walsh, he's not that smart. Look at this. Like, oh, this is not anti-Semitic. The Bible says that.
Whatever way and using whatever language they want. Now, there's another example on the list that's gotten some attention. It's that it's anti-Semitic to claim that Jews killed Jesus. That's what the IHRA says. But
it is anti-Semitic. All Jews everywhere around the world, as a group, as an entity, is inherently like, is it in their DNA? If I go and investigate the Jewish people DNA, is there a code for crucifying Jesus in there? Is that what you're suggesting? What the hell?
that is not a claim invented by anti-Semites. That's in the gospel.
That's why a lot of people are waking up, because Matt Walsh,
I thought it was Judeo.
What is this with this collective mindset that the humanity cannot shake off? I don't understand. Oh, I have some super chats. Ash is saying anti-Semite, Jews kill Jesus, Romans. Am I a joke to you? Yes, no, it was white people as a whole. White people kill Jesus. So, HD Drake, thank you, Ash, for the super chat. HD Drake with another super chat saying the blood libel that Jews kill Jesus is the origin of anti-Semitism. For Matt Walsh to then say it's not because it is a claim in his holy book of fairy tales is circular reasoning. Yeah, I mean, yes, it is circular reasoning. I mean, the Bible could be anti-Semitic by itself, but it's not. I don't think it is. But it has been used to justify anti-Semitism. It has been, which is weird because Christians who are anti-Semitic, it's insane because they're worshiping a Jew while being anti-Semitic at the same time. Anyways, I'm not going to get into that, but you are correct that that part of the Bible has been used by anti-Semites to justify their anti-Semitism. That is true. So yeah, him like acting like that's not a thing is pretty insane.
Christian values. Why are they trying to get certain parts of the Bible censored?
Well, that's what Eddie said, is that Islamo-Christian values make a lot more sense because they believe, I mean, this is in their book.
They're trying to censor the Bible. No, they're not trying to censor the Bible. Even if they were trying to censor that claim, which is insane, they shouldn't censor that claim. They should let people be anti-Semitic. You know, but the government should let them do that. We are the ones who are supposed to stop it. But even if they were trying to censor that opinion, they're not trying to censor that specific claim in the Bible because that claim is not directly made in the Bible, that all Jews are responsible.
Why are they trying to get certain parts of the Bible censored?
Well, that's what Eddie said, is that Islamo-Christian values make a lot more sense because they believe, I mean, this is in their book, the Jews believe that Jesus is burning in hell. When we talk about Jesus, we say, and feces, we say peace be upon him. This is why guys like Matt Walsh are going to wake up a lot of people soon. I don't really think he understands the damage he's doing because he presents himself as like a white masculine Christian figure. Like, what is a woman? I'm standing against transgender issues, but you're owned by a Zionist who disrespects your religion. So
yeah, the main priority is that you're still connected to the Jews. The Jews. I mean, we appreciate you being a transphobic and like homophobic or whatever and conservative. We like that. We like that. But the fact that you're still connected to Jews, that's still an issue for us.
if you're owned by this person and he controls you, then you're not about free speech. You're not about conservative values.
Controls you? Does he control you? So basically, every time you have an employer, that means that you're being controlled. You don't have free speech.
And you're not going to be the face of anything masculine.
That comes back to hypocrisy.
And what?
Oh, because so Matt Walsh, because he works at the Daily Wire, because his boss is a Jew, which is Ben Shapiro, that means that he's not for free speech, and that means that he's not masculine. Logic, people. That is, oh wow. Perfect logic there. I see how these people make sense. I see how you have so many followers, okay? You make absolute sense here. You're feminine because a Jew is your boss. Wow. Oh God, this is perfect logic. I'm learning.
What we've seen with regards to Candace Owens, there's a lot of stuff that she's saying, and a lot of people.
So Levantic is saying, am I right in that Judaism doesn't have hell? So it depends on if you're talking about early Judaism or later Judaism. So later Judaism was flirting with the idea of a hell, but earlier Judaism didn't have any hell. So Judaism is not one thing. Judaism has gone through an evolution, you know. So early Judaism is different from later Judaism. But yeah, so the concept of hell, it starts entering Judaism in later Judaism.
Echoing those sentiments like Dan Bazarian and the likes. And a lot of people are claiming to have awakened.
That's good English there, Zishan.
Yeah?
You carry on, boy.
Yeah, that's why I'm classed as a migrant, you know what I mean?
And you're on the way back to your country.
Yeah, hopefully.
Which hotel are you staying in?
No. Alhamdulillah, freedom of speech is not really freedom of speech. It's just a really nice term that's been used as a weapon against people that don't conform to the freedom of speech that the West says. For example, you can't criticize Preeti Patel by making a cow joke because it's somehow offensive.
Preeti Patel criticizes racist cartoon showing her as a fat cow in The Guardian. She is not stopping it. She's criticizing it. Look at what Smalto Jannah is saying. Guys, I'm convinced that these people have no fucking clue what they're talking about. They're saying you cannot criticize Preeti Patel. Okay? Can you? Is she stopped? Like, she says she's criticizing it. If you come and say something, let's say, for example, you make fun of me, and then I say, like, I criticize you for making fun of me. Did that stop you? Did I physically come and take away your power to make fun of me? No. You saying something and then me responding to it is not a violation of your free speech. Guys, if I come and swear at you, or if I say something, let's say I say something that is stupid right now in this video, and then you call me out for it. Did you violate my free speech by calling me out? If you're calling out somebody, that is not a violation of their freedom of speech. They think freedom of speech is the freedom to say something without consequences, without you responding to it. That's what they think. So these are the 4 things that we have identified that these people think free speech is about. They think that freedom of speech means freedom that I say something and you don't get to respond. That's what they think. They think freedom of speech means that I get to say something and there are no consequences. They think freedom of speech is the right for me to have every platform that I want. Any platform that I want to go to speak to, if they don't give me that platform, that is a violation of my free speech. They think freedom of speech means the freedom, the right to every audience. If I demand that an audience hears what I say and you don't give me that audience, then my freedom of speech has been violated. These are the 4 things that these people think freedom of speech is about. So they have no clue what they're talking about. Okay, let's continue.
To her, you can't make cartoons about Netanyahu and
Guardian cartoonist contract not renewed after Netanyahu drawing. That is not a violation of free speech. What do you want? The Guardian's cartoonist, their contract was not renewed. What do you think free speech means that the Guardian should be forced to work with a cartoonist even if they don't want to? The cartoonist free speech has not been violated because the cartoonist was not imprisoned or killed or executed or tortured or fined. The cartoonist can continue to draw cartoons maybe for someone else. If they appreciate, he could post the cartoons that the Guardian would not pay for it on his Facebook account if he wanted to. Do you think freedom of speech means that I have to get paid for my speech every fucking time? The very same cartoon that the Guardian is not going to pay for anymore, if he goes and posts it on Twitter, nobody can remove it. Nobody's going to remove that. You could still draw those cartoons. You could still show those cartoons to other people. If you're not getting paid for it, that doesn't mean that your free speech has been violated. Guardian is a private entity. They are free not to pay you for a cartoon if they don't like that cartoon. That is their freedom of expression. Let's continue.
New York Times will apologize.
Okay, Times disciplines editor and cancels cartoon contract over anti-Semitic drawing. I said the same thing. The New York Times is not the government. If they apologize, if they want to remove your cartoon or whatever, that is not a violation of your freedom of speech.
If they're seen as anti-Semitic. However, when it comes to the
Anti-France protests erupt across Muslim world.
Prophet,
Okay.
peace be upon him. Whoa. You guys just can't seem to take a joke, you know?
You fucking idiot. Those same publications that you mentioned would not post a cartoon of Muhammad. Those same publications would not post a cartoon of Muhammad. You moron. You fucking idiot. Oh my God.
I mean, and then on the other hand, anytime mockery is done of Jesus, peace be upon him, the Christians immediately use the example of the Muslims. Look at the Muslims. If you guys wouldn't dare criticize Muhammad, peace be upon him.
Yes, why? Guys, why? He said like every time somebody make fun of Jesus, Christians come in the comments and we're like, oh, you wouldn't do this to Muhammad, would you? Right? By the way, we get criticized for that, even though we have been the most blasphemous against Muhammad. Sometimes when we like do blasphemy against Jesus, there's some Christians like, you wouldn't dare do that about Muhammad. Like we have. You have no fucking idea. We have. Okay. But why do some people, and also, wait a minute, hold on, look at this. Where did these Christians post? The Thinking Atheist. The Thinking Atheist. So the Thinking Atheist posted a cartoon making fun of Jesus, and people are commenting.
Mockery is done of Jesus, peace be upon him.
So the Christians in the comments like, great, now do Muhammad.
The Christians immediately used.
Oh, hey, now do Muhammad. Okay, so here's the thing. The Thinking Atheist does make fun of Muhammad. They have posted cartoons of Muhammad. So your criticism does not apply. But why do some people make fun of Jesus but not make fun of Muhammad? Why do Christians claim that, it's easy to make fun of Jesus but not so easy to make fun of Muhammad? Why do they claim that? Because you be violent. Is that what you're proud of? Let's continue.
The example of the Muslims. Look at the Muslims. If you guys wouldn't dare criticize.
Yeah, first of all, I make fun of Muhammad all the time, but why would you expect people to make fun of Muhammad as much as Jesus, given that the Islamic community is a lot more violent than the Christian community?
Muhammad, peace be upon him. So we must be doing something right.
Exactly. Huh? What are you doing right? He's saying, look, people don't dare make fun of Muhammad. Every time people make fun of Jesus, these Christians come and say that you don't dare make fun of Muhammad. So we must be doing something right. Hey, Smile to Jannah, mention what that right thing is. Mention it. What is it that you're doing right that makes people less eager to make fun of Muhammad than Jesus? Why wouldn't you identify? Both of them said at the same time. Smile to Jannah and Ali Dava opened their mic, opened their mouths at the same time, like, we must be doing something right. What is that thing? Can you please identify it? Listen to
Muslims, if you guys wouldn't dare criticize Muhammad, peace be upon him. So we must be doing something right.
Exactly.
They both said something. We must be doing something right at the same fucking time. Guys, in the live chat, what is that thing? What is that thing that you're doing that makes people less eager to make fun of Muhammad? Is this not a direct endorsement of violence? That right thing that you're referring to, is this not a direct endorsement of beheading Samuel Paty? Or it's not intimidation, it's actual violence. D is like, it's choppy. This is a direct endorsement of terrorism. You get to support terrorism on YouTube and get paid for it, and at the same time you're crying about, where's my free speech? You're getting paid for supporting terrorism, motherfucker. Huh? Wow. This was a direct endorsement of terrorism.
In Islam, we are taught not to insult others, so we don't have absolute freedom.
You just insulted the Hindus. You just insulted the Hindu religion on this very video just a few minutes ago. Are we watching the same thing? Oh my God.
Speech from the perspective that shirk, polytheism, worship of other than God, calling upon other than God is something which is the greatest crime in Islam, yet we are forbidden by the Quran to mock people, mocking a particular religion or mocking their...
You just showed Hindus shitting and with the memes and the Shiva Lingam and making fun of it. You put memes on there. You made fun of them. You did that.
Idols, all of these things are forbidden. Why? Because
should I go back and show that to you again? Like, what the hell?
it creates hostility, creates animosity. And what does Islam teach you? Islam teaches you social cohesion. So we're not just taking random pot shots at, oh, this person's inconsistent, that person's inconsistent. We actually have a solution, which is let's collectively agree these are the values we want to achieve, and we all agree we want to live in a harmonious society. So let's at least be consistent when it comes to freedom of speech.
We as Muslims do not believe in absolute freedom of speech, and we live by it. You believe in absolute freedom of speech, and you don't live by it.
We don't believe in absolute freedom of speech. We believe in maximum level of free speech, and we do be living by that. We do. Shut the fuck up, you idiot! You don't understand anything. You don't understand the very basic of these principles.
And I would like.
It's so rich because when we criticize Islam, these fucking morons come and tell us that we don't understand Islam, even though we understand Islam better than they do. We have studied Islam more than Ali Dawah has ever done. Okay, we understand Islamic philosophy more than these motherfuckers, and they criticize us for not understanding Islam. But at the same time, when they want to criticize liberal principles, it shows that they have no fucking idea. They have no clue what they're talking about.
To say, while we're in Bosnia.
So we understand both Islam and liberal principles better than these idiots. So we are actually in a strong position to criticize Islam, and they are in no position to criticize liberal principles.
Yeah. The white people that always talk about freedom of speech, like the far right or Christians, I would love for you guys to come and visit this place here. Like,
the far right, who are you talking about? If you're talking about actual far right people, not just patriotic people, like who did you show me as your far right? Wow, look, one of these were not like the other. One of them was actually far right, the other one was not far right. Look at
We do not believe in absolute freedom of speech, and we live by it. You believe in absolute freedom of speech, and you don't live by it.
and I would like to say, while we're in Bosnia, the white people that.
So this guy Okay, Tommy Robinson is not far right. Tommy Robinson is just a patriot. Okay,
always talk about freedom of speech like the far right.
this guy is a far right. Okay, so don't put these people next to each other. One of these is not like the other.
Christians. I would love for you guys to come and visit this place here. Like, look how beautiful this place is. You'd be
Yeah, and okay, so the patriots, when they talk about free speech, they're consistent most of the time. They want free speech for everybody. The far right, when they want free speech, they just want free speech for themselves. They are as hypocritical as you are. That's true.
really surprised if you walked in a masjid and you saw that like 99% of the people here are white and they're praying to the same Allah that you think is, you know, a brown Arab religion.
You have this has nothing to do with free speech. You're just all over the place. You guys are not consistent when it comes to the claims. This has nothing to do with free speech, the thing that you just
They say Allah, Allahu, the F is Allah. However, when you...
Yeah, and also, guys, these people think that to protect someone's free speech, that speech has to be good. Okay? So here, like, oh, why are you against this person's speech? This speech is actually good. Like, you fucking moron. Free speech is supposed to protect horrible speech as well, not just good speech. When we protect free speech, we liberals, when we protect free speech, we also protect speech that we hate from the government, not from us. Like, we will come at it, we will attack it, but we want to protect speech from the government so that civilians, so that people, so that civil society takes a crack at it. We want the government to take a step back. We will attack your speech, right? If we are protecting your speech, we're not protecting your speech from our attack. We're protecting your speech from the government so that we could come after it ourselves, because that's our responsibility. It's not the government's responsibility. It's our responsibility to destroy your ideology.
Yeah, they say Allah, Allahu, the F is Allah. However, when you open up any Arabic Bible, the word for God is
Allah.
Allah. Is there any closing thoughts, Eddie?
In Aramaic.
What? So, like, they say Allah, Allah, who the fuck is Allah? So if you look at Arab dictionary, the word for God is Allah. Yeah, so there are many different gods in history. You could still ask, well, what the fuck is this God? Like, I don't understand. What point was being made there?
I mean, you look at the language that Jesus did speak, he would say Allah, Allah. It's just the language to Arabic. Yeah,
exactly. So, guys,
no, okay. So the root of a word is not necessarily what it means right now. The word Allah does not refer to God. The word Allah refers to a specific God. Allah is Islamic God, right? So when I say Allah instead of God, I'm specifically talking God as described by Islam. Everybody fucking knows that. Everybody fucking knows that. Everybody, the way you understand, the way that you try to understand the definition of a word is not based on its roots. It's not based on its dictionary definition. It's based on the usage. It's based on its utility. If I use the word Allah instead of the word God, that's intentional, because I am talking about a specific version of God. So don't go look at the root of the verb and of a word and try to make it seem like it means something else. If I was talking about God as described in Christianity, I would not call it Allah. I would not refer to it as Allah.
let's leave it there. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.
Oh wait, never mind. Okay. I had to. Anyways, let me read some of your shit. Okay. Okay, Frida is saying nothing. They're talking about nothing because they are eternal adolescents. They live in a world where it makes sense to them that they get so many extra rights just because they have dangly bits. Hey, do not call it dangly bits. Show some respect, Frida. But thank you. Okay. Luigi is saying, as far as I know, Armin. Oh wow, I'm so honored. I've never seen my name like that before. This is the first time. I'm surprised it took so long. This is the first for me. Okay. So Armin with 3 parentheses at both sides. Guys, if you know what that means, you know if you know, right? She was talking against the Shep, I don't know what it's called. Not against Jews. She said, okay, they are pretending to be Jews so other people will hurt the innocent Jews. Okay, Luigi, this is what anti-Semitic people always do. They say they're anti-Jewish, and then they claim to say that they're not anti-Jewish. They say that the Jews are not actually the real Jews. What is that? Like, for example, the Black Hebrew Israelites. The Black Hebrew Israelites, they are very anti-Semitic. They're very anti the people that we refer to as Jewish. But they're like, no, we're not anti-Jewish because those are not Jews. Those are not the real Jews. We're the real Jews. So Candace Owens, so this is basically the same way of being anti-Semitic, but not referring to Jews, not referring to Jews as Jews, but referring to Jews as Zionists. So a lot of people who are saying anti-Zionist, they're actually anti-Jewish, but they're trying to mask their anti-Jewish claims. This is what Candace Owens is doing as well. She's taking all the conspiracies and stereotypes against Jewish people, and she is mentioning them and giving a lot of airtime to them. And every time she's accused of being anti-Jewish, she says, like, no, these people are not really Jewish. These are a cult of people who are pretending to be Jews. That's a cover. Like, I don't know how you fell for that. But why am I, like, are you serious? Like, it seems like you're being, like, are you joking when you're putting that parentheses over my name? Because that's good if you are, but I don't know if you're actually a conspiracy theorist yourself, because it's actually a bigger honor if you actually really meant it, if that you use those parentheses around my name. This is the first time for guys. Mention me more like this, because this is actually quite an honor. Levantic is saying, I think you can say that if it's a core tenet of the culture. I don't know what is this referring to. I should have read this while they were being made. So atheists don't make fun of Muhammad like they do to Christianity. Well, we do on this channel, at least. I don't know if you're talking about which atheist you're talking about. This atheist channel has made more fun of Muhammad than Islam than Christianity. We on this channel, the more offended you are, the more we make fun of your religion, right? So given that Muslims on average are more sensitive, therefore this channel makes fun of their religion more. We basically go see where the sensitivity is, and we chase the sensitivity. That's what we do on this channel. Okay, so Aiden was saying, as someone who was born in Bosnia, whatever he's about to say is irrelevant. Bosnia literally gave bin Laden citizenship and hosted Soleimani in the 90s. Ooh, I did not know that. All right, let's do this super chat. Sergeant Boom Bread's trajectory is saying, you left Islam to your innate on one another. You're sick. What is this, guys? Can somebody translate this to me? I have no idea what the super chat is saying. You left Islam to your innate on. I have no idea what this is. I have no idea what you're saying. Oh, urinate. You left Islam to urinate on one another. You're sick. Oh, this guy is. Are you making fun of Muhammad Hijab? I think you're making fun of Muhammad Hijab. I think this is a joke making fun of Muhammad Hijab. Yeah, so Muhammad Hijab was made this claim. So he thinks that people who leave Islam have a golden shower fetish or something. I have no idea what this. I don't know what to respond to this. I just read it. That's all I need to do. But thank you. Yes, Muhammad Hijab is crazy. Okay, guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for participating in the conversation in the live chat. Make sure you like the stream. Make sure you recommend the Atheist Republic channel. Guys, we understand on this channel what we're talking about. You have to admit, the level of nuance on this channel is more than these other giant channels that you watch, okay? Like the level, how deep we get into things, right? We have fun with it, right? We do be yelling sometimes and making, we using offensive language, which makes it more entertaining, to be honest, at least for me. I don't know about you guys, right? But at the same time, we get deep into these concepts like what is free speech? You know, what does Islam actually teach this, or does it? And we're honest about it. This is a very good, nuanced, objective, as much as it could be, channel when it comes to looking at what the evidence actually is and making good arguments for different, you know, standing up to nonsense. I mean, this is a really good channel. I have to say it is, right? And it deserves to be bigger. I mean, seriously, go look at all these giant channels. Like, how many of them get to the level of detail that we get into? Okay, how many of them? There's very rarely that a channel that gets in deep this much. That's worth something. So you should, okay, this is a demand. Okay, it's not even a request. Recommend this channel. Advertise this channel. This channel needs to be bigger. Go promote it. Go tell people to come subscribe to Atheist Republic on YouTube. We need you to do that for us, okay? Okay. And also like the stream, leave a comment. Oh, don't recommend this channel if you're in an Islamic country and you might get difficult for you, okay? Do not risk your safety or your life or anything like that, okay? So safety first. But like the stream. Liking the stream would not get you in trouble because nobody could see who liked the stream, okay? Your likes are hidden. It's not like Instagram where people could see who liked the video. So like the stream, leave a comment if it's safe, subscribe, hit the bell notification, recommend this channel, do all of these things, okay? Thank you. And Alfred is saying what Alfred was saying, a big thank you to somebody. I don't know who. Alfred, a big thank you to everyone who's liked this and shared the stream. You're helping us grow. Well, thank you. Yeah, that's what Alfred said. And thank you, Alfred, and thank you to Dolly for helping me making these streams possible. Till next show, stay liberal. Mwah.